Once again, another one of these themed college parties has gone wrong. This one was called Colonial Bros and Nava-Hos. Their Thanksgiving themed party. This took place at Cal Poly State University in San Luis. The students of Phi Sigma Kappa offered their Colonial Bros and Nava-Hos party, in which the men were conquering pilgrims and the women were plantly clad Disney maidens dressed as Nava-Hos. Apparently, however, this slavish, historical details loving tribute to Thanksgiving tradition is frowned upon by the real modern day Puritans, as well as the modern day indigenous people. One college professor, and the frat is now under investigation. And you know, this has been some stuff. One person said this. This is what was said by a Polytech student. Personally, I don't think this was meant to be racist, a student said, and a fraternity member who declined to provide his last name. Daniel, who said his fraternity was not associated with the party, said Greek life involves a lot of guy and girl themed parties. Although he could not confirm what the party was called, he said it was meant to fit the Thanksgiving theme. It's unfair, he said. We are all taught Thanksgiving about pilgrims and Indians. So therefore, he feels as though the school, the university, and the students should be allowed to have a Colonial Bros and Nava-Hos party. This is not the first time. In 2012, the tradition also happened. It was made in Canada when the University of Alberta, they had the same Western Bros and Nava-Hos, and then it was also condemned. Either way, this type of activity and these type of actions, folks, they're teeming with racism. And I didn't really, at first, when I was in college, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, ha ha ha, this is funny, this is cute, until they did like the blackface parties, and I found those offensive. But then I realized that all of our racism is racism. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who runs the Native Leadership Youth Alliance, Sophia, and we had this conversation about what this does to the American people, what this does to the indigenous people, how it creates depression. And I thought about it for a second. Like, I get it's not as in our social theory and in the social net that we live in, right? When you say the N-word, I should get offended because I was told to get offended. But the same also rings true when you make fun of somebody's tribe. And when we talk about the Navajo Indians, we're talking about a particular tribe of people that have cultural sensitivities that we ignore when we do these type of events. So you need to be very careful about when you decide to have your next college-themed party of how it affects the people that live around you and the people who are part of those indigenous communities.